What do you got for me today, New York?
Reporting live from New York 1 Chopper. An Oscorp truck carrying plutonium has been hijacked. A police chase is in progress.
All right, let's get to work.
This just might be one of the best Hot Toys Classic Suits Spider-Man to ever be made. Well, that's a lot coming from me, who's only ever collected 1/12 scale figures, but to me, from what I've seen, just look at it. Like, oh, it's beautiful. If I'm going to be honest, I did not plan to buy this guy at all. I was originally gunning for the Hot Toys PS4 Classic suit, but then it wasn't anywhere. Like, I couldn't find it at all. It's sold out everywhere, and I just couldn't be, like, I'm not brave enough to spend a lot of money online from third party or second hand. It's just too much. I can't. Hot Toys are worth a lot of money, and just to be scammed, that put a big fear. So I got this guy at Action City. There was a lot of Hot Toy selections there, but this one caught my eye. Like, the box art alone, and it's just amazing to look at. Wasn't intended, but I'm owning it. And of course, the fact that it's exclusive is also adding on to why I bought it in the first place. You know, as a collector, I'm very happy. I'm very happy with my selection. For anyone wondering where this Action City store is, it was in Singapore when I was going on vacation. They have a website and all that, so you can check them out in the description below. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. It's just, I'm just telling you where I bought it. Now, enough about the box. Let's get to the figure itself. Okay, that was a terrifying cut, but here is the figure out of the box. I could not film an unboxing, fresh unboxing video or recreate it because I was just too excited about it and open it on the plane. Like, this was technically a birthday gift to myself, it being a Grail, Hot Toys. I just had to open it. I couldn't just wait a couple more hours. It was a very anxiety-inducing experience because one wrong slip up and everything could just fall anywhere on the plane and I'll just lose it and that would just suck, like, a lot. Pause. Anyway, out of the box impressions, I can tell you that when I first opened it, this guy was like nerve-wracking to hold. Every single part of the joints were really stiff in a good way because it's new and stuff. I was just in awe with the detail, with the amount of detail of the fabric and the colors and the chrome eyes, the reflective eyes, and it's just overwhelming at the time. When I did that swap animation, it was very, very just like trying to animate quickly while on the plane because I don't know when they're just gonna land and stuff. It was a fun experience though. I would try that again. Now, what does this figure come with? It comes with a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff for the stand itself, a lot of attachments because of a lot of accessories you can attach with this thing. You get the Goblin as well for some reason as a background piece, I guess, like him in the distance, but it doesn't really make a lot of sense. For sure, he has a lot of detail on him, but like his face is just, goofy. I couldn't help but think of Nonetheless, the detail was still insane. Like, every single part of it was really well made. Another accessory, arguably one of the best accessories that this thing comes with, is the camera. It's so detailed. I can't say for no reason. It's literally the reason why Hot Toys are popular with how detailed they are. And it matches well with the price. Like, everything just has detail. The Peter Parker thing that you can slightly see, the lens, the flash, like the screen itself, screen I guess, and it's just amazing paintwork as well. You also get some extra wrist pieces, an array of webs, which I think can work for 1/12 scale figures as well. 4 web attachments, I guess. Like, you get the web shooters, the metal ones, if you want to go for a really, really like mechanical look for your Spider-Man. There's also an option where you can plug in these like pieces on the palms where you can switch out for the webs to plug in directly. What kind of sucks about that feature is you can't, like, when you do this, sometimes you turn your wrist, not just straight forward. But nonetheless, it's a great feature. You can do the thing, like wrist turn thing, with the metal web shooters anyway, since there's also a plug for them. And last but not least, you also get some web wings, which magnetizes on the armpits and like the body of this figure. It comes with these 3 awesome Spider-Man related, like, they have Thwip and different versions of like the Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man, Spider-Man and Friends style. I think it references the old cartoons, which really goes well with the display. And last but not least, this thing comes with like a weird like display based thing where you have to like build it up together, like origami thing. Like, I think it's going for a forced perspective thing where he's like atop, like, swinging up from buildings, and you're like taking the picture like that, see the buildings like pop out. Doesn't really achieve the effect well, but it's good enough. Of course, a good set of hands, which are weirdly paired. Like, you can clearly see which are for wall crawling poses, but some hands are just on their own. Like, one of the hands are for holding the camera, like 2 of them, I guess, like the ones that look like these. But the rest are like a couple of gesture hands on the right hand, I guess, and just like a few on the left or the right. I don't know. There's just an uneven balance of hands, which I'm not used to because usually the 1/12 scale figures always have pairs for each single gesture hand. Depends on what effect they're going for. And of course, the swap out eyes. I think they're trying to reference multiple artists who worked on Spider-Man, but I can't remember who. So that's pretty much up to you guys in the comment section below to tell me who they're for or who they are, referencing. This guy has a ton of great detail. Other than the chrome eyes, the white eyes, all 3 of them have amazing texturing. And there's like this subtle blue hue on the sides, which adds a lot to how the eyes pop out on the mask. I can show it to you right here. Like, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but like, look at that. It's amazing. And from a distance, it's super cool to look at, and the eyes pop out at you like immediately. But up close as well, you can see how like sort of reflective the eyes are. At the same time, the texturing of the eyes and the lenses and the blue hue on the sides. This to me, the vibe this thing gives off is like if the TASM 2 suit of Andrew was really, really comic accurate. Like, from afar, you can see how much this could be a, TASM 2 suit or TASM 3, if that ever happens. No, it won't. Like, the logo is perfect to me. Like, it's small, but it's Spider-Man. I never really liked it's more of a personal opinion that, those logos where they just copy paste the front logo to the back. But to me, the Fat Tick spider logo just makes more sense. Well, more like artistic sense. But this version, kind of looks weird with the small. I know it's accurate to the first version in the comics, but it just kind of looks weird with the thin, like, legs. But I much prefer more the boxy, big boxy, like, backed spider logo. But that's just my opinion on it. I don't know how much this guy scales well with other spider figures of the Hot Toys line. This is legit my only Hot Toys. But for that, you can check out Justin's Collections video on this. Another thing about the design, this feels like the perfect combination of all three versions of Spider-Man in the movies. Like, this is like pretty much how, Andrew's TASM 2 suit looks, but there are also raised webbing, for those Raimi fans out there. Like, it's raised enough. To me, the raised webbing, if it's too much raised and too thick, kind of distracts from the whole figure. It looks good, don't get me wrong, but sometimes if not executed well, it just looks odd. But here, it's really well executed, especially with how subtle it is, and immediately just how subtle, but how much it pops out immediately in your eyes. And for Tom, I guess the array of eyes. He's the only Spider-Man who can really emote his eyes. And the big tick spider, I think he's the only Spider-Man who legit has a big spider logo in the back that isn't just a copy paste. But aside that, of course, I know that this is obviously trying to recreate comic versions, but I'm not really that well versed in the comics verse of Spider-Man. I think one of the biggest inspirations here is Todd McFarlane, but I'm not so sure. Maybe the shape, but the whole thing, I think it's a mix of all of them. No, of course, he isn't Spider-Man without his iconic poses. Now, given that he can't do most poses that, regular Spider-Man usually does, but, let's give them a break because it has fabric on it. Of course, there's going to be some limitations where, you don't want to break the thing. So, yeah. So, for the articulation, for the head, it's similar to the Marvel Legends disc joint, where it's pretty much just up, down, all on its own. With, I think I can feel a little bit of neck in there, but I don't think it contributes much. Similar to this. So yeah, the head can go up this far, which is good enough for the wingsuit poses. It's up enough where, of course, there are limitations due to the fabric, but it's up enough where if you bend the body along with it, it's acceptable. The head can look down this much. Be careful about this. In some poses, it can, be ugly, so all you can do is just pull it back and it'll be fine. You can go side to side like a lot, which is great for Spider-Man, of course. It's limited in left to right because of the fabric. Look right, or my left, or whatever. Look left this far. Look right this far. And for the arms, it can go up like, let's see here. It can go up to 100 degrees. I don't know how accurate that is. It's on ratchet joints. You can pretty much cheat this thing on depending the angle. For example, you want to go forward really far. Like, it works either way. You just have to find it, since you can't really see the joint. You have to be careful in putting it back. Like right now, find the joint where I last put it. You're gonna hear a ratchet sound. Oh god, please don't break on camera. Okay, I found it. There we go. That's the only hard part with these fabric, figures. You can't really see where the joints are. Specifically for this joint, and I think I put it upside down. Just looking pretty flat. I just know Hot Toys collectors are just cringing right now at how much care I'm providing this thing. So there is a bicep swivel. Not much limited since the clothing, the fabric pretty much adjusts to it, and can go up to 120 degrees apparently. And basic wrist joints for any import figure, and there's covering or padding in between the joints so you won't really break the figure. And the arms can go forward this much. Mine already has some straining due to that insane animation earlier, and go back this much. Now for the torso, there are like two separate joints in here actually. One near the crotch area or the belt area, and one near the diaphragm. So them combined can give you a lot of crouch. There's a lot of dogs today, and a lot of back bending, as you can see here. There's this piece where it kind of wobbles a bit. It's a bit odd, but it's not really doing much. So for the legs, can go up this far. This is basically the limit of the fabric itself, which is up to 80 degrees, and it closes around 120 degrees. So yeah, this is not, it makes sense because of the fabric. Can go back a decent amount actually, a pretty realistic amount. And there is actually thigh swivel, but which you gotta look out for, the stitch lines and stuff. And for feet, basic feet joint, feet swivel thing, and toe joints, which are on ratchets actually. And that broke again. And going down a little bit. Overall, this guy has great articulation. Although I'm wondering if Lycra, if it's really flexible, why not use Lycra? But then again, I digress. I don't know jack about creating Hot Toys figures. So yeah. Now this guy is priced at over $350 US. I just converted that from Singapore dollars, so depends on the store you may go. It might fluctuate or be less. But overall, I think for the price and everything that it gives you, it is worth it. If you have the money or save up the money for it, this is one of the most go-to Spider-Man I'd recommend for a hot toy. This guy just slaps. It really, really feels like a suit Peter would make. I know people will complain about the small things, about the stitch lines and stuff, but it just makes it feel more human, I guess. In a way, a lot of comments I've already seen in my other videos with the animations with this guy already mistake him as an actual cosplay. So that says a lot about the detail Hot Toys put into this guy. So Hot Toys, great job. And that's pretty much all you can say about this amazing figure. I think most likely the music will be different, or just me trying to sync it up. So the unmuted or the original sound will be up on Instagram or TikTok. So follow me on those accounts as well, and while you're at it, subscribe to this channel. And if you want to watch another figure review, watch this video on the screen right now. So here's the time lapse of the animation I made. Mr. Goblin, you cannot get on my Rizzler. I'm too skibbity for you. You're still here?